Loretta with Grown and Vegan. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for coming in. I invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload a new video. I also invite you to follow me on Instagram or visit the Grown and Vegan website for recipes and blog information. But today I want to take you with me as I prepare Sunday dinner. And for Sunday dinner, I don't know about you, but Sunday dinner, usually you try to do a little extra. Sometimes throughout the week it's busy and don't have time to really, cook a lot of meals, take a lot of effort and time doing it. But on Sunday, normally we have extra time to prepare a meal. So today I'm going to make my first time making pretty much everything. Well, two of the items. So hopefully everything turns out really good. But I'm going to make a vegan potato salad. Now my regular potato salad used to be amazing. So this is my first time in trying to veganize my recipe. So I'm going to be making vegan potato salad, going to be making the vegan ribs, and then I'm going to have a side of baked beans, vegan of course. So to start, I'm going to start off by prepping my potatoes, and I'm going to just cut up 5 russet potatoes, peel and cut them up and boil them. And then while they're boiling, I'm going to get started on the ribs. So I'll be back in the video after I get done slicing up or, peeling these potatoes, and then we'll get started on the ribs. So to peel my potatoes, I started using an actual potato peeler. For years, I wouldn't use one. I always just used my knife to peel. But I have found out that this is really the easiest way to do it. So that is how I do this. And sometimes there's little spots on potatoes. You can just take care of those also while you're peeling. You can use the potato peeler to do carrots and cucumber, whatever you need to peel. You can use it for that. Okay, I have all my potatoes. Now, depending on how much you want to make, you may want to use more potatoes. But for my purpose, 5 potatoes, and these are about medium size, it's going to be just fine. You don't have to be perfect with chopping these up because we're just going to boil these for potato salad. Actually, make a little bit smaller. Yeah, about that size chunks. And I'm just putting them in a colander. And once I get all these chopped up and put in the colander, I'm going to wash them and clean them up. All right, so I have started my seasoning, getting my seasonings together to prepare the ribs. And I've just went ahead and measured out all of them together, a tablespoon just to make it simple. I put in about a tablespoon of each. I have black pepper. I have a steak seasoning. You can use whatever kind of steak seasoning that you prefer. Smoked paprika, fennel seed. I have some thyme leaves in there. And I grabbed this and just decided to go ahead and put that into but adobo seasoning. And then, of course, garlic powder. And I put in about a tablespoon of onion powder as well, but that was the last of it, so I don't have that bottle still. But I just went ahead and mixed it all, put all my seasonings just to make it easier, and just kind of make a mixture that I will add to the rib mixture that we're going to make here. So I just think that'd be easier than, you know, pouring in one at a time. So now I just have this, and whether I use this whole thing or not, we'll see. But we have it prepared here and ready to go. I grabbed my nutritional yeast as well. I'm gonna see, you know, if I'm gonna put this or not. This is usually for a cheesy flavor, so I may not add this. I'm gonna see how the mixture tastes before I decide. But to get started, I'm getting ready to use, I've got this jackfruit that I'm going to drain and rinse, and then I'm going to put in the food processor. I'm going to also chop up, I have about a half of a, little more than a half of a sweet onion that I'm going to chop up, and then I'm going to add some garlic, some minced garlic as well. So I'll meet you back at the food processor. So I have taken the jackfruit out of the can, and I just kind of, this is my very first time actually getting jackfruit in the can. This is my second time using jackfruit and cooking. The first time I got it, it came in a package that was it was already kind of pressed out and everything, and so this is the first time I got it in a can, so I'm excited about this. I rinsed it off, and I'm getting ready to put it in the food processor. See if I can get my, okay, so got my camera up there so you can see, put it in the food processor, and up that onion, and I just chopped it up coarsely because I'm going to be putting it in the food processor. And then I have some minced garlic that I'm just going to take about a teaspoon of, a heaping teaspoon of that. Now, I'm going to go ahead, that seasoning that I showed you, I'm going to put about half of this in here. Let me use my spoon, make sure I don't just get all the fennel in there. Okay, so that's about 3 tablespoons of that seasoning. Now, I'm gonna also add, I have some liquid smoke marinade. I'm gonna put, I guess about, let's try 2 tablespoons of this. I'm one of those cooks, I cook by feeling. So it's hard for me to measure out things. I just usually just throw things in, but I'm trying to give you some kind of context and be able to write this down. It's barbecue sauce. I'm going to put some of that in here too. And I think I'm going to do maybe 2 tablespoons of that for now. And I just got some sweet brown sugar. I tried to find some more of this yesterday when I was out, but I couldn't find the brown sugar. Thankfully, I have some of this left. I just got the regular traditional. Oh, something I didn't add before was some salt. So I'm going to put a little pink salt in. I'm just going to put in a little bit. However much you feel, you could leave it out if you don't want to. And now I'm going to get this all mixed up, and I'll be back in the video. What we have so far is just mushed up in there. I tasted this, and I think I want to go in and add a little bit more salt. And then I also want to do the nutritional yeast. I wasn't sure, but I do think that it needs something there. So I'm just going to do some sprinkles on there. I would say that's probably about 2 tablespoons. Okay, I think I finally got this to where I want it. I went ahead and I added some more stuff, y'all. I went ahead and added 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, which I have the light kind. The regular kind would be, you know, just fine. I also went in and added 2 tablespoons of A1 sauce and another tablespoon of the hickory smoke. And I think that this is the flavor I'm going for. The best thing you can do when you're cooking is just taste things. That's a good thing about vegan cooking. You're not putting raw stuff in. So, and if it is raw, it's something that you can eat raw without getting sick. So I was able to taste this and it tastes good. It's where I want it. So now the next step is to prepare, to begin to mix it with the gluten. So we'll be back with that. Y'all, I think it's time to check on our potatoes. I have them boiling. I turned them down. They were boiling pretty fast. And I think that they are, yeah, they're way tender. So I'm going to go ahead and take them off the heat. Now we're going to put our ribs together. And the basic thing that makes these into that texture that's, you know, kind of like me is this wheat gluten. So we're going to use a 1 1/4 cup of this. Okay. And then I want to add, I love this, I love oat flour. I love it for gravy and different things. So I want to put some of this. I'm just going to put 1/4 cup of this in. All right. And now we're going to combine everything together. So we have this, and we just need to incorporate this all together and mix it, and then knead it. And I think this part is going to take a little bit of time. Oh, and I have some water. I have a cup of water here. I'm going to just put half of that in right now. And if I need to put more, then I will put more in there. This could be the fun part. Just get it all worked in together. And it seems like it's coming together pretty easily. Okay, I've been kneading this. I think it's, I didn't time myself. I think it's about that time, but I just wanted to kind of show you. I'm going to do this a little longer, but I wanted to show you how this is starting to look. It's basically just coming together, and it shrunk a little bit to me as I was doing this, but and it's going to change appearance to you so you'll know when it's ready. All right, while I'm letting that meat rest for just a minute, mainly me rest for a minute, I'm going to go ahead and get the barbecue sauce together. Now I finished pouring out the bottle, what I had left in the bottle that I showed you earlier. This is what I have now, the original, just a basic one. So I'm going to add some of this. Then I'm going to add a little bit of some items to kind of doctor this up. This is going to be what we're going to cover the ribs with. So we'll make sure I have enough here. Have a good coating. So I'm going to go in with some of the soy sauce.
I'm just gonna eyeball this, guys. I think that's probably about a couple of tablespoons. And I'm gonna add some mustard, just your yellow mustard. Maybe just a teaspoon of this. I have a quarter of a lemon that I cut up that I'm gonna squeeze in. And then I'm gonna take some pancake syrup and put about 2 tablespoons of that. You can use brown sugar if you prefer. You can leave it out if you don't want it. It's just up to you. And then I'm going to put in, trying to find a spoon, but I'm just gonna put in some minced garlic. Looks about a tablespoon or teaspoon, I'm sorry. And then we're just gonna simmer this to get all these flavors in together. I've got it on a low heat. It's time to get our ribs formed and ready for the oven. I have my Pyrex, or I don't know if it's Pyrex, but it is my glass pan, whatever you want to call it. Can't think of the name right now. Ready here. I'm gonna add a little olive oil to the bottom to coat it. Before I put this in. So here is what we have after that workout. But you know, it just basically, to me, when it's ready, it looks like it's ready, it's sticking together, and that's what we want. So I'm gonna put it in here and form the ribs. Now, I highly recommend, just a side note, while you're cooking your Sunday dinner, to wash your dishes as you go. I have a sink of water just ready to go so that I can just wash my dishes as I go. That's just a tip, because once you start eating, you're gonna be full and you're not gonna feel like cleaning up the kitchen. All right, so we have this all together, and now we're just gonna go through. I got a butter knife. And this gluten, it's sticky, so it sticks together. That's interesting. Never used this before. This is really cool, y'all. Okay. So now we have, and then I just kind of I'm gonna scoot these back together. And now for the fun part, we're gonna come back in with our barbecue sauce. All right, so this yummy barbecue sauce that we made earlier, we're gonna go ahead and coat our ribs with a generous amount of barbecue sauce. Ribs. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these in the oven, and we'll be back in the video. It is time to get this potato salad together, and I am excited about it. So we're back at the food processor, clean this up, and we are going to start. We've already boiled the potatoes, peeled and boiled the potatoes. This is about 5 potatoes. Set those aside. They've cooled down. Now I'm going to make what I'm going to consider the eggy type mixture that goes in the potato salad. So I'm going to use Great Northern beans. I'm not a big fan of chickpeas. I know that a lot of people, I'm not gonna say everybody, but a lot of people use chickpeas and everything. I'm not a big fan of them. So I prefer the Great Northern. They just are smoother to me. They're not gritty. So I rinsed this off, and I'm gonna put these in to the food processor, and we're gonna season them. Now I have got my black salt, y'all. I had to order this. I couldn't find it locally. I looked everywhere that I could think that would possibly have it. I had to order this off of Amazon, and because I wanted to make this earlier in the week, but I had to wait for this ingredient. So I have never tried this before. I heard that this is what makes the eggy taste. So we're going to use my teaspoon for measurement. I'm going to start with a teaspoon because I don't really know how potent this stuff is or anything like that. So I'm going to take a teaspoon of black salt. And then I'm just going to eyeball the rest. Because like I said, I cook from the heart. And you just taste it. You put in what you feel. You taste it. And then you add more as you go. So I got some garlic powder. I'll put some garlic powder in there. I got some black pepper. A few shakes of the black pepper. And of course we have our nutritional yeast. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. That just seems to go into everything. I'm going to put some yellow mustard. And something else that I think I'm going to get. Let me grab it real quick. Okay, so I'm going to put a little turmeric in there. Just a little bit. Of course, it's not open yet. I bought a bunch of new spices. I feel like I'm in the shoe store when I go through the spice aisle now. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of turmeric in there just for a little color. I think the mustard will help with the color, but put that in there too. And I'm going to try this white pepper. I got some white pepper that I haven't used before, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. I think it's maybe milder. I'm not sure if it's milder than black pepper or stronger. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and, gotta have my seasoning salt. Now, I haven't been using this that much, but this is something that I always use in my regular potato salad. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit in there. And I'm looking at this as being my new and improved version of the potato salad, not trying to feel like I'm going without anything. So it's going to be new and improved. All right, I'm going to mix this up and I'll be back. To be creamy. And I have this big old food processor that it seems like if there's not a whole bunch of stuff in there, it doesn't get as mixed as I want it. So what I'm going to do is move this to the blender because I want this to be creamy. I transferred everything over to the blender, and I want this to be smooth. It's not smooth like I'd like. So I'm going to add, I need to have a little bit of liquid in here to get it going in the blender. So I'm just going to add a few drops of some almond milk. Not much. I don't want it to be runny. I just want it to be creamy. So I added a couple of drops of almond milk, and then I'm going to mix this up. Okay, so I have gotten this out of the blender, and this is the consistency. I ended up adding just a little bit more, few more drops of the almond milk, and this tastes good. This is I realized this is a good base if you wanted to just add some jackfruit or some heart of palm or even artichokes in this. This would be good, like you know, for an untuna. So this is good, eggy. It looks eggy. I did want to add a little bit more of this black salt. The taste that I have is okay. I can handle it. So I'm going to go back in with some of this black salt. It gives it a good flavor. Mix some more of that in there. And I'm going to add a little pink salt. Okay, I'm going to taste this and make sure this is all good. Now we have our potatoes. Now I'm one that likes mine to be a little bit mushy. If you don't like them and you like whole pieces, then by all means leave it like that. But I usually will go in and just roughly mash my potatoes. I like mine to be a little bit mushy. Not all the way. We're not making mashed potatoes, but I like them to be coarsely mashed. Okay. So this is something new. Now, I had some green pepper on hand, so I went ahead and just chopped this up a little bit smaller. I used it in some spaghetti earlier this week, and I had this humongous green pepper. Like, I don't know what was going on, but the store has some really big ones, so I had some left over. So I'm going to add this in. You can leave this out if you don't. I don't normally put this in, but it just seemed right for this occasion. I've already chopped up some onion. This is about 3/4 of a cup, about a half of a sweet onion. I typically use sweet onion in everything. I like those. They're mild. So that's what I use. You can use whatever kind of onion you want, sweetheart. I don't mind. I'm going to go ahead and use my sweet onions, though. That's what I like. And then I have my vegan mayo. Now, this is a second type of vegan mayo that I've used. But I'm going to take a couple of big spoons of this. And then we're going to put some of our eggy mixture. I'm just going to put about half of this in for now and see how this goes. And since I have so much seasoning in this mixture, I'm not going to add any seasoning to the rest of the potato salad. Already coming together. Potato salad is really one of those simple things, but you have to make it right. You have to make it right. If it's not right, then it's not right. So we are hoping that it's going to be right today. I want to taste it and see where we're at. See if I need to add anything else or what, or if I can add more of this eggy mixture. I want to see where my fork go. Woo! Oh my. Oh my. Y'all. Yeah, this tastes good. Woo! I just don't want to overpower this. I wish I would have made, could have did a few more potatoes. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to hit it with a little bit more mustard. I like mine to be a little mustardy. If you don't like all that, don't do it. This is your potato salad. Put a little bit there. I can use this one now. But yeah, that mixture, that egg mixture is on, spot on. And it doesn't have the grittiness that chickpeas has. I just don't like that grittiness. I like to use when I first made untuna, I did use the chickpeas, I think I prefer, the next time I make it, I'm gonna use this mixture, this eggy mixture. Okay, and I didn't have the black salt then when I made that, so. All right, so it's creamy. There's some chunks in there. If you like the chunks. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go back. I keep having to rinse off my spoon. I gotta taste this again. Oh my goodness, y'all, this is so good. Woo. One thing I forgot though. Let me rinse this off real quick. I don't know why y'all didn't tell me that I forgot the relish. My goodness, I got to have the relish. So, but it just tastes so good even without the relish. So we're gonna go in, make sure I got the right relish, sweet relish. Oh, this says gluten-free. Well, my goodness, I hope the pickles don't have gluten in them. Everything's marked. So we're gonna put some sweet relish in here. That's 2 tablespoons. Let me go back in with another. And that's just gonna take it over the top, y'all. I just know. That's just gonna take this over the top. Oh yeah, that looks like regular potato salad. Creamy, yummy. Oh. I just don't waste this. I'm gonna finish to put this in. Rest in here. Because I ain't gonna be able to use it for nothing else. So I'm gonna mix that on in there. Whew. Okay. That looks like some regular potato salad that you can't tell me no different. Right here. Delicious. So typically what I would do when I make potato salad is top it off with some yummy, let me taste this again real quick though, just because, you know, I think I'm hungry, y'all. Let me taste this real quick. I'm gonna taste. You probably can't see too good. Woo! So, yeah, that's it right there. So what I would do, you could even put, you know, if you like yours a little bit sweet, put a little bit more sweet relish in there. Even put a little sweet sugar in there, which actually that's what I'm gonna do. I got some cane sugar. I'm gonna put a pinch of sugar in there. You don't have to if you don't want to. Like I say, you cook from your heart. Every time I think I'm done, then I feel like I'm gonna add a little bit more. Ain't nobody tell me nothing about this potato salad here. Yes, God. So, we got to top it off with that paprika, y'all. Now, I use smoked paprika for other things, but this is just regular plain paprika. Just top it off with a little paprika. And there you go. Can't nobody tell me nothing about this potato salad here. Boom. That's our potato salad. Right, so I just took the ribs out of the oven. I had them in there for a total of 1 hour at 375 degrees. I'm gonna let them sit for just a minute before I try to do anything with them, but they seem like they cooked up fine. I am going to be making these, we're gonna say baked beans, but I am not going to put them in the oven. I'm kind of going the easy route today. I got these at Whole Foods, so I'm gonna try these. I haven't used them before. I usually get Bush's, and they have a vegetarian version of those, but they didn't have that. Well, actually, at Whole Foods, I didn't get them at Whole Foods because they cost way more than I felt they needed to be. So I went ahead and got this brand, And then when I went to another store, they didn't have the vegetarian. So I'm just going to stick with these and we'll see what we get. So when I opened these up, these beans, there was a lot of this. You see that stuff in there? There was a bunch of that on top. So I rinsed off all the beans. So if you get that, you may have to rinse them off. I don't know why it was like that, but it didn't look that tasty. So I rinsed them off. I'm gonna go ahead and use the rest of this barbecue sauce that I had. I put a little bit more on the ribs, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use this up. Put these in the beans. Why not? And then I'm going to put in a little plant butter. Probably about a tablespoon. If you want to use barbecue sauce or you'd rather use ketchup, however you want to do. You can also make these kind of beans with just the Great Northern beans and season them up. That's basically what they are Great Northern beans that have been seasoned. I'm going to use some of my pancake syrup. You can use brown sugar straight if you want. Put a couple of drops of that in there. And that's pretty much it. I don't do a whole lot with the beans, just as long as they taste good. Some people like theirs spicy. You can put hot sauce in there. You can go in there and put some of those green peppers if you like. You can put some onion in there. Whatever you want to do. You can put some of the smoke flavor. If you usually used to put bacon in yours, you might want to do that. So that's pretty much it. Okay, you all, it is time to eat. So this meal looks absolutely delicious, and so I want to take some time to enjoy it. And so I hope that you enjoy it as well. We're going to say a prayer and then we're going to have some dinner. Dear God, thank you so much for this food. We ask that you will bless this food for the nourishment of our body. Give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so the ribs. Let's taste the ribs. Now I cooked these for about an hour, and in my pan the bottom got a little crispy. You might have to watch your oven depending on how long you want to cook it, but taste these beans. Beans. The beans taste good for being quick canned beans. Gotta have that potato salad. The onions are crunchy in there. Oh, yeah. That's good stuff, y'all. Sunday dinner. Thank you for joining me for Sunday dinner. I'm gonna sip my drink. I have ginger ale and orange juice. This is my drink that I just love. I don't know what to call it, but it tastes good. And I'm gonna finish the rest of my dinner. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great week. Blessings. Talk to you soon. Bye.